Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope that all of you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome you all to NIVS Home School. This is Mamudur Rahman, assistant teacher of English, National Ideal English Version School. Today I am going to take an English second paper class for the students of class 9. Today's topic is right form of verbs, and this is your second class on this topic. Okay, let's see the board at first. This is the class for class 9 of half yearly 2022. Subject English second paper, topic right form of verbs, and this is your second class. This is your lecture number 2 and your homework number also 2. Teacher Mamudur Rahman, and this is my phone number. Okay, today we will discuss from your rule number 13. There are two subsections in this rule: past perfect plus before plus past indefinite, and the second one past indefinite plus after plus past perfect. That means if the first part of a sentence is in past perfect, then the second part will be past indefinite, and if the first part is in past indefinite, then we will use after, and the second part will be in past perfect tense. Okay, look here the example: the patient died before the doctor came. Look here, before is used and the doctor came. This is in past indefinite form. So the patient died, this portion will be in past perfect tense. So the answer will be the patient had died before the doctor came. The next one, the patient died after the doctor dash come. Look here, after is used and the first part is in past indefinite tense, so the next part will be in past perfect tense. So the patient died after the doctor had come, and we know that the structure of past perfect is subject plus had plus the past participle or the V3. Rule number 14. If there are two verbs in a simple sentence, present participle or infinitive form of the second verb is used. If the second verb implies intention, infinitive with to is used. That means if there are two verbs, here also two sections. If there are two verbs, we will use infinitive present participle, that means verb plus ing, and infinitive plus main verb of present form of main verb. I saw him. This is a simple tense, so here we will use the ing form, that means present participle. I saw him going. And the second sentence, I saw him going. The second sentence, I don't want dash leave this place. Look here, I don't want, this portion implies intention, so we will use here infinitive plus main present form of the main verb. So I don't want to leave this place. Next one, had better, had rather, would better, would rather, let, must, need, dare are followed by the present form of the verb. These all are also called a modal auxiliary verb, and after modal auxiliary verb we will always use the present form of the verb. So you had better to go home. So the answer will be you had better go home. We will use the present form of the main verb. There is another example: I will not let you dash to enter the classroom. The answer will be I will not let you enter the classroom. 16. If the sentence begins with would that, the subject is followed by a verb with could. That means if the sentence starts with would that, we will use could plus the main form of base form of the main verb. That means Would that I dash go to college? The answer will be would that I could go to college. Rule number 17. To be or having is followed by the past participle form of the verb. That means if you find to be or having, after that the past participle of the main verb will be used. He ran away having dash take the money. The verb in the bracket will be in past participle form. So here he ran away having taken the money. That is another example. The principal desired the notice to be hang. So the answer will be the principal desired the notice to be hung. H-U-N-G. Now rule number 18. ing is added with the verb in the bracket if it is preceded by any preposition. Look here at the point. Preposition or mind, ought, without, past, cannot help, could not help, with a view to, look forward to, would you mind, get used to, etc. So if you find a preposition or all these words and phrases in a sentence, you will use ing form of the main verb. I went to the library with a view to read there. So we have find here a phrase with a view to, and we have learned from the rule that after with a view to we have to use the ing form of the verb. That means it will be I went to the library with a view to reading. Read is the main verb. We'll use reading. I went to the library with a view to reading there. He never thought of dash go to cinema. So here we'll use going. He never thought of going to the cinema. Number 19. The past form of the verb in the bracket is used when it is followed by it is time, it is high time, wish or fancy. That means if you find I wish, I fancy, or it is time, it is high time, you will use the past form of the verb in the bracket. Example number 1. I fancy I dash turn pale. So the verb in the bracket turn will be turned. T-U-R-N-E-D. Turned. It is high time he changed his bad habits. So as we have learned from the rule, it will be the past form of the verb in the bracket changed. It is high time he changed his bad habits. Rule number 20. If there is as though, as if, wish in a sentence, the verb to be in the bracket is changed into where. This is an exceptional rule. The verb to be verb in the bracket will turn into where if you find as though, as if or wish in a sentence. Look here. I wish I to be a king. So here is to be verb in the bracket, it will become where. I wish I were a king. He talks as if he to be a leader. So it will be also turned into where. He talks as if he were a leader. Rule number 21. If the first part of a complex sentence having as though, as if is in the simple present tense, the second part will be in the past indefinite tense. Again, if the first part is in the past indefinite tense, the second part will be in the past perfect tense. That means if you find as though, as if in a sentence and the portion before as if or as though is written in present tense, that the verb in the bracket will be in past form. And if you find the first portion in past indefinite tense, the verb in the bracket will follow the rules of the structure of past perfect tense. For example, he speaks as though he know everything. Look here, he speaks, this is present indefinite tense. So the verb in the bracket will transform into past indefinite. That means it will take the past form of the verb. He speaks as though he knew everything. Next one, she proceeded as though I dash not speak. Here look, she proceeded, this is in past indefinite tense. So the verb in the bracket will follow past perfect tense. She proceeded as though I had not spoken. The next rule, singular verb is used after the subject each, every, one of, etc. That means if you find each, every and one of, you will use singular verb. One of the boys dash be absent yesterday. Look here, we have found one of, so don't be confused by the word boys. We will use always the singular form of the verb in the bracket. So one of the boys was. This is not is because here is a word that indicates the past. The second example, everybody loves flowers, so it will be loves, the singular form of verb. The next one, rule number 23, the present form of the verb in the bracket is used if it is followed by auxiliary verbs like can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, etc. That means all of these are modal auxiliary verbs, and after modal auxiliary verbs we will use always the present form of the verb. You may dash come tomorrow, so the bracket in the verb will be in present form. You may come. You may come tomorrow. The next sentence is I can dash do the work, so it will be the same. I can do the work. The next example, in the case of passive voice of the past participle form of the verb is used if it is followed by verb to be. For example, am, is, are, was, were, been, etc. That means if you find auxiliary verb and in passive and a sentence in a passive form, you will use the past participle of the verb. The book was dash still. So you can hear, we can see that was is auxiliary verb and is still also a verb. That means it is, we have to write this in passive form. So after auxiliary verbs in a passive form, we will always use past participle form of the verb. So the answer will be the book was stolen. The book was stolen. So these are the all rules for today's class. From here, the rest, there are 10 sentences. This will be your homework for today's class. Your homework HW number 2. I'm reading the sentences for you. Number 1, we started for home after the rain dash stopped. Number 2, he talks as if he dash owned the house. Number 3, the sailor saw the ship dash come near the port. Number 4, you would rather dash to stay home. Number 5, the problem needs to be dash solved quickly. Number 6, I wish I catch the bird. Number 7, he talks as if he dash to be a leader. Number 8, having dash finished my breakfast, I went to school. Number 9, it is high time you dash clean the room. And number 10, I read the book with a view to dash pass the exam. So this will be your homework number 2. So my dear students, I hope that all of you are well understood today's class. If you have any problem or further questions, please contact me. Submit your homeworks and attend the online classes regularly. See you in the next class. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Thank you.